She was sunshine and laughter, a beacon of joy in my life. Her smile could light up the darkest of days, and her laughter was the sweetest melody I had ever heard. A whirlwind of energy and joy, she moved through life with a grace and enthusiasm that was simply infectious. Every moment with her felt like a celebration of life itself. I loved her from the moment I saw her. It was as if time stood still, and in that instant I knew she was the one I had been waiting for. Our first meeting was serendipitous, a chance encounter that felt like destiny. Her name was Emily, and she was my everything. Her presence in my life was a gift, one that I cherished deeply. She had a way of making the ordinary seem extraordinary. We built a life together, a life filled with love and dreams. Every milestone we reached, every memory we created, was a testament to our bond. From our first home to our holiday traditions, everything was perfect because we were together. I worked hard, a simple office job, to give her the world. Each day at the office was a step towards our future, a future I envisioned filled with happiness and security for Emily. She deserved it, my Emily. She deserved every bit of happiness and comfort I could provide. Her dreams became my dreams, and I was determined to make them a reality. Emily was ambitious, always reaching for more. Her drive and determination were inspiring, and I admired her for it. She never settled, always pushing herself to achieve greater heights. She landed a job as the assistant to a high-powered CEO, Mr. Caldwell. It was a prestigious position, one that she had worked tirelessly to attain. I was proud of her accomplishments, even if it meant spending less time together. He was everything I wasn't: rich, powerful, ruthless. Mr. Caldwell exuded an air of authority and confidence that was both intimidating and alluring. I couldn't help but feel a pang of insecurity whenever I thought about him. I didn't trust him, but Emily assured me I was being silly. She laughed off my concerns, telling me that he was just her boss and nothing more. I wanted to believe her, to trust in her judgment. He was just her boss, nothing more. She was dedicated to her work, and I knew how much this job meant to her. I tried to push my doubts aside, to support her in her career. How I wish I had listened to my gut. The nagging feeling that something was amiss never truly went away. In hindsight, I realized that my instincts were trying to tell me something important, something I chose to ignore. It started subtly. Late nights at the office, hushed phone calls, expensive gifts she'd brush off as corporate rewards. My Emily, draped in designer clothes I couldn't afford, distancing herself from me with every passing day. Then came the bombshell. She was leaving me. For him. The words pierced through me, leaving me shattered. My wife, my love, had chosen a life of luxury over our love story. The pain was unbearable, a gaping hole in my chest where my heart used to be. Friends offered empty platitudes, but I was alone in my grief. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. I was numb, a ghost going through the motions of life. Work became my only solace, a way to escape the crushing weight of my reality. I poured myself into it, the rhythmic clatter of the keyboard my only companion. One evening, while clearing my desk, I stumbled upon an old project, a software idea I'd been tinkering with. It was a long shot, but I had nothing left to lose. I spent nights hunched over my computer, fueled by coffee and heartbreak, pouring all my pain and frustration into the project. Section 4, A Twist of Fate. The response was overwhelming. My software, a simple solution to a complex problem, went viral. Tech blogs raved, investors came calling. Overnight my life transformed. The once empty bank account overflowed with figures I'd only dreamt of. But the money meant nothing. It couldn't buy back Emily, couldn't erase the pain she'd inflicted. It was a hollow victory, a cruel joke. The only solace was the knowledge that I had built something from the ashes of my shattered dreams. Section 5, The Return of the Prodigal Wife. It was a Tuesday, a year to the day Emily left, when she reappeared. The sun was shining brightly, casting long shadows on the pavement as she walked towards the house. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers, a stark contrast to the turmoil that was about to unfold. She stood at my doorstep, a shadow of the woman I once knew. Her eyes, once full of life and ambition, now seemed hollow and lost. The vibrant energy that used to surround her was replaced by a palpable sense of defeat. Her designer clothes were gone, replaced by a look of desperation. The once luxurious fabrics and high-end brands were now just a memory, replaced by simple, worn-out garments that spoke of hard times and broken dreams. She spoke of Caldwell's cruelty, of his string of broken promises. Her voice trembled as she recounted the lies, the betrayals, and the emotional scars that had left her feeling abandoned and alone. She was alone, she said, nothing but the clothes on her back. Then she saw it. Her eyes darted around, taking in the surroundings, and she seemed to hesitate, as if unsure of her next move. A glimpse of my apartment, the sleek furniture, the state-of-the-art tech. The contrast between her current state and the life she once knew was stark and undeniable. Her eyes widened as she registered the change in my circumstances. The realization hit her hard, and for a moment, she seemed to be lost in thought, processing the new reality. I could see the cogs turning, the realization dawning. She was piecing together the fragments of her past and the present, trying to make sense of the choices that had led her here. The weight of her decisions was evident in her eyes, and I knew that this was just the beginning of a long and difficult journey for her. Section 6. Sweet, sweet revenge, can I come in? She asked, her voice barely a whisper, trembling with a mix of hope and fear. Her eyes, red from crying, pleaded for a chance, a sliver of mercy. I stared at her, this woman who had ripped my heart out without a second thought. Memories of our past flooded my mind, the laughter, the promises, and the betrayal that shattered it all. And in that moment, I knew exactly what to do. The pain she caused had forged a new resolve within me, a clarity that was both liberating and empowering. No, Emily, I said, my voice cold and steady. The words felt like ice, each syllable a testament to the strength I had found in my suffering. I think you've had enough. The finality in my tone left no room for argument, no space for her to wiggle back into my life. I closed the door on her face, the sound echoing in the hallway. It was a sound that marked the end of an era, a chapter of my life that was now firmly shut. It was the sweetest sound I had ever heard. The satisfaction of reclaiming my dignity, my self-worth was immeasurable. The revenge wasn't in the money but in her regret, in the realization that she had lost something irreplaceable. She had traded true love for fool's gold, and now she was left with nothing but the hollow echo of her choices. And that, I knew, was a price she would pay for the rest of her life. The weight of her decisions would haunt her, a constant reminder of what she had lost.